Stay tuned to PBS 39 as we go to the movies and focus on the arts. Allentown's own Oaks Fegley stars in the title role of Disney's Peach Dragon. We'll have that interview. Plus, we go behind the scenes of the film Getting Grace with actor and director Daniel Roebuck. We discuss the outlook of the Lehigh Valley film scene on the set of Billboard the Movie and spend summer nights at the drive-in. Does it get any better than that? Find out right now on Focus. Focus is for our community.
Focus showcases the people,
the places, and the issues that matter to you.
Focus on what matters.
You never know what you're going to see when you tune into Focus.
Support for Focus is provided by Univest, Banking, Insurance, Investments, Fellowship Community, Continuing Care with Spirit, and by viewers like you. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us as we focus on the arts. I'm Laura McHugh. This season has been one of the busiest in some time for the Lehigh Valley film scene. A local actor starred in the new Disney adaptation of Peach Dragon, and at least 2 films were shot in the area by Lehigh Valley native directors. We begin our tour of the movies with Focus reporter Brittany Garzillo. Brittany?
Laura, the Lehigh Valley takes center stage in an upcoming film called Getting Grace. The movie, co-written by Bethlehem native and actor Daniel Roebuck, showcased not only local scenery, but local talent. We met with Roebuck for a sneak peek on set.
It's 32A, take 1, speed, mark.
Rolling.
Action.
What did you do?
Dude, I didn't know they locked.
Ever sealed.
I gotta find the key.
Find the key.
No one has ever wanted out before.
Never before has Daniel Roebuck taken on a role quite like this one.
That's great. Moving on.
The Bethlehem born and raised character actor, known for his roles in the television series Matlock and Lost.
His lab assistant came into the room, saw that his men are detonated.
And the feature film The Fugitive.
The wounded guard swears he saw Kimball right outside the emergency room.
Has traded LA for the LV as the setting of his upcoming movie called Getting Grace.
Rolling.
Getting Grace is a movie about a beautiful teenage girl. Sadly, she's dying of cancer, but happily, she is changing lives as she goes through her journey toward the end of her life. She goes into a funeral home to find out what's going to happen after she dies and ends up teaching the funeral director how to live his life.
We met Roebuck in between scenes at Selheron Funeral Home in Allentown, one of the film's several shooting locations.
While we're filming a bit of a comedy scene where one of the kids in their Embrace Life group gets locked accidentally into a casket.
Action.
How could you misplace it?
You've had plans reconsider?
How long has it been?
Should I call the fire department?
No, there's not enough time for that.
You know, she's probably out of oxygen by now.
Can you keep your opinions to yourself, please? Oh!
Got it.
Thank you.
In front of the camera, Roebuck plays the role of a funeral director named Bill Jankowski.
I've cast myself as the romantic lead and also the buddy in the buddy comedy. I'm directing the movie. I co-wrote the movie with Jeff Lewis. I'm producing the movie.
I call it the little movie that could, because it's fantastic.
Corey Gariak is Dan's brother-in-law and the film's director of photography.
The script is so good and the cast is so good, and we're getting a good look with great locations.
Locations that span throughout the Lehigh Valley, including St. Luke's University Health Network, Bushkill Park, and Heron Funeral Homes in Allentown and Bethlehem.
Dan has been very gracious. We've had restricted areas and his whole crew have respected them.
I've got this character who's an old-fashioned person. Bethlehem is an old-fashioned town that's kind of reborn, and this guy's reborn.
I personally love being here. Actually, when I grow up, I want to live here.
Play to the person.
The film features local talent, both in front of the camera and behind it. For example, Parkland School District teacher Sam Edwards. Edwards spent her summer as the film's executive producer.
This is a partnership. It's a partnership with the Lehigh Valley and the full movie.
Many of these people here are working on behalf of our film, and it's a real blessing. Yeah, and we cast all of our lead kids from Lehigh Valley.
Including the movie's title character, Grace, played by 18-year-old Madeline Dundon. Dundon graduated from Roebuck's alma mater, Bethlehem Catholic High School.
I'm so proud to be able to do this here for people that love Bethlehem. It's such an exciting thing.
Dundon, who studies musical theater at West Virginia University, describes her character.
Grace is an old soul. She is positive, but in a very interesting way.
The character of Grace, who was conceived by the film's co-writer Jeff Lewis, reminded Roebuck of his own daughter, who just so happens to be named Grace.
The fact that he thought of me is an honor, and the fact that other people think of me to this really special character is an honor.
Let's roll it, please.
When I met this kid who was just like my daughter, I knew that I had the right kid. And she was willing to shave her head. I wouldn't have done it, but she did it. So she was perfect.
Though shooting for the low-budget independent film concluded in August, its impact on those who've helped make it possible continues.
I've been involved in other projects before and have been involved with other cast and crew in different productions, but this is family.
It's really a dream come true to have an opportunity like this.
If I could say the perfect takeaway of Getting Grace would be celebrate every moment of your life like it could be your last. In this instance, our lead character knows she's going to die, but guess what? So do I.
We don't have to tell anybody about this.
There's always second chances at happiness. And if you surround yourself by people that you love, you're going to be happy, and that's really what life's all about, is to love each other and be loved.
Roebuck hopes to release the movie in the summer of 2017. You can find more information on the film's website at gettinggracethemovie.com.
Thank you, Brittany. While crews were shooting Getting Grace, Disney released the remake of Pete's Dragon, starring a 12-year-old from Allentown in the title role. We talked about the experience with Oakes Fegley and his parents and found out what's next for this promising young actor. In the title role of Disney's Pete's Dragon, Allentown's Oakes Fegley delivers a performance both gentle and moving.
And Elliot? Who's Elliot?
Oakes spent part of his early acting career on the stage of Allentown Civic Theater, where he and his parents, Mike and Merce, joined us for an interview. Does sitting in this room bring back memories for you?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I remember being up on the stage, and I also remember sitting here for many different shows, watching other people up on the stage, and yeah, it's always cool to come back.
Merce, Mike, you're both actors yourselves. When did you notice that Oakes had such an exceptional talent?
He did A Christmas Carol here at Civic, and it just was seemed like a very easy progression, and it was natural to him and something he wanted to do.
Your feet don't even reach the pedals. Scoot over.
Wait!
I think it's a wonderful extracurricular activity for kids. Oakes, in particular, has a very clear temperament. It's a very gentle temperament that just comes across extremely well, especially when he's on camera.
You share the screen with Bryce Dallas Howard and Robert Redford. Describe what that experience was like.
It's just really cool, and I mean, Robert's he's great, and he is the nicest person ever, and he's very funny.
You better buckle up.
Hold on tight!
One of your acting partners is Elliot, a computer-generated dragon. What kind of special challenges did that present?
The script really described him very well as like a puppy dog, as well as a wild animal. It was very hard at the beginning to imagine that I was sad about this dragon, or I was having fun with this dragon that wasn't really there.
For Oakes to be able to work with the green screen, I mean, it's a testament to really his imagination. He does a lot of reading at home, and so I think he absorbs all that and then brings it all to life when it's the time.
Oakes, what's next for you?
I have a movie that I finished filming a little bit ago called Wonderstruck, and that was with Julianne Moore, and she was just just like Robert Redford, very, very cool. All the people I got to work with on that were really nice, and I mean, the whole experience, it's different on every film and TV show that you're on.
What's been the most memorable part of this experience?
Meeting so many new people, and I think you learn from everybody who you get to know, and that's why I think that's my favorite.
We were invited to come down to, about halfway through the process. The rest of the family went down to visit him, and we went out onto to the set or to the location for the first time. He was about 100 yards away from me, but I could see it in the producers' village where they're under the tents and they're all looking at the monitors, watching him work. When I saw my son and it pans up or pans down to him, so he rises up, and then he turns around and he looks over his shoulder and he gives a big smile and he says, "Elliot," and watching the producers go, "Yes," like they knew they got the shot, and that was the way I was introduced to it, and I was like, wow, it was really, really cool.
What's the message that people can take away from Pete's Dragon and Oak's performance?
I'm happy with the message about sustainability, and I think the film really got across how precious and delicate that is. And that message about just taking care of home, making sure that there's a safe place to call home for everyone.
As a parent, I look at those moments and I know that they're very genuine. There's a moment where Pete responds, "We were on an adventure." I think that everyone will be able to go away from there and just feel somewhat comforted in many ways by the film.
I want everybody to feel like they belong somewhere and to something. That's why I think Pete, he belongs to Elliot. That belonging is the thing that I want everybody to take away.
Acting talent runs in the Fegley family. Oak's sister will play the lead in the Civic Theater's upcoming production of Carrie the Musical, and his father Mike is an actor in his own right. In fact, Mike has a role in a film made this summer in the Lehigh Valley. According to the director, the movie is about 5 years in the making. When he decided to create the project, filmmaker Zeke Zelker set his sights sky high, and the result is called Billboard.
And action!
Billboard the movie tells the story of a radio station on the brink of collapse and the contest it creates to drive ratings and revenue by having 4 contestants live, where else, on a billboard.
The movie is about a radio station, WTYT 960. A gentleman who inherits the radio station from his dad. Has no idea anything about radio, and so he comes back home to the Lehigh Valley to run this radio station and realizes that it's in complete disarray. Yes! So it's really about a story about legacy, it's a story about entrepreneurship, and what do you do to actually survive in a business setting.
I'm afraid of heights, but this isn't too bad. Shortly after shooting wrapped, I climbed onto the Billboard, located at Rothrock Car Dealership near Route 22 in Allentown, with filmmaker Zeke Zelker.
I mean, could you survive on a billboard for over 100 days?
I couldn't survive on a billboard for 2 days.
I remember from my childhood this Billboard City contest that took place in 1981, and I always wondered what people would do while they live on a billboard. What we're gonna do right now is gonna follow basically people around.
So Zeke wrote, produced, and directed the film as part of a multimedia project that includes a virtual radio station, play, and web series. He set and shot the movie in more than 30 locations across the Lehigh Valley, despite offers to film it elsewhere.
We had Georgia, we had North Carolina, we had Minnesota, we had Texas, we had California, and mind you, coming to me with money.
Scene 93D, take 1.
I just felt that it didn't feel right if I didn't shoot this in the valley.
The film stars several independent film actors and Academy Award nominee Eric Roberts, but most of the cast was found locally.
And action.
We have Shelby Reynolds.
The last day that we shot was actually at Rothrock. We had over 150 extras. We had the downtown marching band. We had all of our main actors here. So like that day we had probably over 200 people here when it was all said and done.
And check it out to find out
Zeke wouldn't reveal whether WTYT 960 survives or how long the contestants last on the billboard, but he did share his outlook on the Lehigh Valley film scene.
I think it actually looks promising. The challenge is more people have to understand the business to be able to be willing to invest in it. So there has to be funding for it, or else it won't survive.
But that hasn't stopped this filmmaker. He's simply not one to shy away from a challenge.
You think you could survive as long as they did?
Absolutely.
Zelkor plans to release Billboard in the summer of 2017. While by some reports, fewer than 500 drive-in theaters continue to operate in the United States. Lehigh County is home to not one, but two of these classic outdoor big screens. Focus reporter Grover Silcox got a taste of nostalgia and visited both. Grover?
Thank you, Laura. In the 1950s, the United States had more than 4,000 drive-in theaters. Parents brought the whole family in their station wagons, while teen drivers borrowed Dad's car to take their dates to see the latest Elvis flicks. Today, approximately 400 drive-ins remain. The Lehigh Valley has two of them. Shankweiler's, the oldest in the nation, while Becky's has been family-owned since it began in 1948. Here's more on these two Lehigh Valley holdouts.
Under a full moon on a summer night, the stars come out at Shankweiler's Drive-In, the oldest drive-in in America.
So it really makes a nice family atmosphere to be under the stars and watch some family movies.
Just off Route 309 in Orfield, Lehigh County, Shankweiler's welcomes moviegoers from the Lehigh Valley and as far away as New York and Philadelphia to enjoy a double feature.
The kids bring their camp chairs. We actually have anti-gravity chairs for the adults.
We just really love coming to drive-ins. You know, it's a fun night out for everyone.
People come for mainly the same reasons they came in 1934 when Wilson Shankweiler opened the drive-in.
It's an event for most people. It's not just going to the movies, it's an event. We try to run GMPG, family-oriented pictures. That seems to do the best for us.
Folks still love the trailers and opening announcements in that classic drive-in tradition. But they don't listen over crackly speakers hanging on their windows anymore. They get it through their FM radios.
Good evening, folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater.
We were the first in the country, drive-in theater in the country, to have broadcast in FM stereo.
The yellow poles, which once held the speakers, still stand, but now they mark parking spaces. But the biggest change is how drive-ins show you the movie.
This used to be a projection room with two 35mm projectors. This is a conversion to digital. This is your digital projector, and this is the hard drive that every movie comes on. To stay in business and convert this to digital, we spent probably in the area of $150,000 plus.
Sure, anything else?
Here's something that hasn't changed, the snack bar.
Our hot Dietz and Watson hot dogs are very popular, but I'd have to say definitely the popcorn is the big ticket item out here.
The fact that they have real butter on the popcorn makes it the best popcorn anywhere.
Husband and wife Paul and Susan Geisinger bought Shankweiler's in 1984, although Paul worked here as a projectionist since 1971. They have a staff of 21 part-time employees.
I've been here about 10 years. We have a really great crew here, and we get along really good.
We have been so blessed throughout the years with the people that we've had working out here for us, and it is like we're a family in and of itself.
Just as every highway has rules of the road, so does the drive-in.
Oh, a word of caution. Don't drive over 10 miles an hour in the theater area for your safety's sake.
Similar rules apply at Becky's Drive-In.
I'd enjoy it too if you put me to work. So come on, pitch in and help keep this theater clean for yourself and the other patrons. Thank you.
William Beck, who founded the family-run drive-in in 1946, loved showing movies and handling film. He and his wife Alice passed away, but their children and grandchildren have kept it going.
Well, the big thing is everything's now digital, which I don't know how my grandfather would do because he always loved films.
William and Alice's granddaughter Wanda works the ticket booth, and their grandson Chris operates the digital projection systems.
The bulb is now ignited,
and show's about to start.
Cindy Depp, Chris's mom and the founder's daughter, serves as general manager.
It was called Route 45 Drive-In because the highway was Route 45, but then Pennsylvania State changed the route number to 248.
So, in 1971, William Beck dubbed the drive-in Becky's, his childhood nickname.
It's beautiful here. The setting, the trees, and just being outdoors, it's amazing.
Becky's has 2 screens, each with its own radio frequency for sound.
We have 2 different FM stations, 90.7 on screen 1 and 106.5 on screen 2.
We have blankets and pillows in the back and just kind of lay down and enjoy the movie.
With both screens on a good night, Becky's can pack up to 750 cars. It's $9 for adults and $6 for kids. And like most drive-ins, the ticket price buys you a double feature.
It's a reasonable price for family fun. We have a family of 6 kids.
Right now, the kids are driving around the perimeter here in a red fire truck. So, you know, Becky's does a nice job, too, to keep the kids happy.
We try to have characters roam around that are in the movies. Like tonight, you might see Dory walking around here.
You'll also see a lot of people heading over to Becky's new and improved snack bar, where manager Barbara Finley and her crew keep the hot dogs, hamburgers, popcorn with real butter, and all the other menu items coming.
I've been working at Becky's for 42 years, and I love every day of it.
Longtime customers make sure to ask for Barbara.
You wouldn't believe all the people from Jersey, New York, Philly, and a lot of them became really close to me.
While Barb fills orders at the new snack bar, Dean Depp, Cindy's husband, whips up homemade funnel cake in the old snack bar. When everyone has had a chance to get their goodies, the show kicks off with a rousing version of the national anthem.
In so many other places, they don't do that anymore. But here, these are old roots. They're family roots, really. And we just love being here. That's it.
With that, in the cozy comfort of their SUVs, vans, and sedans, on blankets and folding chairs, people enjoy movie night at Becky's.
We all just grew up working here, so I guess we just have to keep going, right?
The digital age has changed the way many of us view movies. But at Shankweiler's and Becky's, digital technology has simply enhanced what drive-in fans have loved for more than 80 years. For Focus, I'm Grover Silcox reporting.
Thank you, Grover, and thank you for joining us for this special trip to the movies. We'll see you next week. Until then, remember to focus on what matters.